What's up, hobby friends? My name is Casey and welcome to another miniature rescue. This week we take a look at some Armigers that I've had in a drawer for a few years and turn them into some seriously sweet orc machines. We are well into Orktober at this point and I've been juggling a few different ideas. I have lots of projects to get to and they're all really cool minis that need some help. As I was looking through the orc shelf of my cabinet and reminiscing about some of the old videos that have been made on this channel, I suddenly had this really fun idea. Now I've got Stampas, and I've got Gorkanaut, Morkanaut, whichever is needed at the time, and I've got lots of Killicans. All of these are great, but I don't have any Deff Dreads, which is a pretty specific model. It's this kind of weird in-between model that's not as big as the big guys and not as small as the smaller ones. It sits in a unique spot and looks pretty different from the rest of the models. The thing that I remember is that I have the perfect skeletons for putting together custom orc-looted Deff Dreads, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing today. The Armiger Hellfriend is, on its own, a really cool model. A small knight with great converting opportunities as well as armor panels that can be painted in all sorts of fantastic ways. I've had these models in my drawer since before 2020 and I feel like it's time that they came out and became useful again. It might have been early 2020, I don't know, it's been a minute. I gather the parts and pieces I can find as well as some other orc models that I set aside for later that just happen to be in the same drawer. And things that could possibly aid in this journey towards making these models Deff Dreads. Since these models aren't orc models, they will need some spice, shall we say, in order to become them, or orc models. I need to use all the tools at my disposal to give me the most options for parts. That means I need to get some 3D printing going and print out some extra options on top of the ones that I already have. In the past, I've used Gear Guts Mech Shop for mech bits, and there were a couple of kits I did buy that could really work well for these models. I also picked up some stuff from Station Forge and Watt Core Designs through my mini factory. Lots of stuff to print out just to give me options for these Armiger skeletons. The armor that they came with will also need to be used. I want a mix of orc parts and original parts to keep it looking like it's been looted from a battle and refitted into something new. So at least half these parts are going to need to be stripped down and repainted. That means I need to get out the sonic cleaner and get these going. While those pieces are soaking, let me tell you about some really cool models that you should check out. Not sponsored or anything, I just think they're worth mentioning. I just got back from visiting Trenchworks, a model manufacturing company that makes an absolute ton of minis for a ton of different companies here in the United States. They also have their own line of orcs that you can either get physically or in STL format. Recently I've been putting together these sweet pallet orcs, knightly clad orcs from a whole other age, not your typical 40K stuff. A Cthulhu orc and a more traditional brute orc with a big axe, real cool. All of these are very cool minis that were made not too far away from me actually, and something that you should check out. I'll put a link in the description along with all of the other companies that I ended up using for this project, which definitely added up. There are quite a few, so they'll be down there. Anyways. The paint on the armor comes off pretty easily after the bath and the sonic cleaner. I can just scrub it away with a toothbrush. The color on the panels wasn't actually too bad, but I want to change it up a little bit on a couple of them, and the plan is to match a little bit closer to my converted knight. So the paint just needs to come off and we can deal with that in a little bit. Let's get to more of the kit bashing side of things. The printed parts come off the printer and I got those cleaned up and cured, and everything gets laid out on the table and the fun part of dry fitting parts together begins. This is why it's important to gather as many bits as you can, no matter what they are. If you think it could possibly have a use, then it needs to come out. You never know what you end up using and what kinds of ideas present themselves during this kind of brainstorming process, this session. In this case, I have an absolute ton of 3D parts that I won't feel bad about cutting up if I need to. Just reprint them if I absolutely screw something up. I also have quite a few parts from an old Deff Dread kit. that I've had for a long time, which I imagine will come in handy right about now, and most importantly, parts from projects that I got off of eBay. Not ones that I specifically looked for, extra things that came in other purchases or lots, and one bit in particular that I am real excited to use. Let's take a quick pause here and just look at this one piece. This is a pretty unassuming gun barrel, but this thing came off the face of the knight that I made last Orktober. Still one of my favorite projects I've ever done, and another orc project where every other comment on the video was, why on earth did you take away the face gun? I get it, I had reasons. I don't know what it is with people in tubes, but anyway, I'm totally joking. I had my reasons, and if you want to check out that video, then the link is up in the corner. Here's the thing though, that part wasn't going to get thrown away. Why would it? It's a sweet gun barrel, and even then I thought that idea was a really good one and could be used for another project. So here we are. I will definitely be using this as the face of one of these, and I'm pretty excited about that. Another idea I had was to take even more inspiration from that old project and get a driver down into the center of one of the Armigers, getting a guy right in the middle of the hole sitting in a makeshift cockpit that they kind of scrapped together and just made it work. It's pretty perfect, and I'm pretty sure I have all the pieces to make that work, and if not, I will just make it work. The only thing with a decision like that is there isn't really any going back. It's not about gluing things on. So I used a Dremel to just cut the top right off of the model. It's a little scary considering these models aren't super cheap, but at the same time, it's an opportunity to now problem solve. Now there's a hole in my tank. What do I do? While using a variety of parts and pieces, I fill in the hole. I cut pieces off the orc to make him fit better, throw some pipes behind him and to the side of him, and make it look like he's nestled in this perfect little seat. It's not bad. It's also hard to know exactly what the end result will be, but throwing a bunch of things at the problem and just seeing what will fit is the best way to go about it. This brainstorming session gives you a lot of freedom. And at least in this case, I feel pretty good about how he looks sitting down in that cockpit. I worked on these models for a few days, fitting things together, getting something I liked, and just running with it. My goal was to not completely overcomplicate these, since that is a good way to end up with something that you don't really like and doesn't look very good. Too many parts and pieces everywhere, telling too many different stories. So we want to do just enough work and let the paint tell the rest of that story. Getting primer on the models really unifies the pieces and gives me even more confidence that the end result will be something that fits into this army and that I actually like. The arms were partially from 3D printed sources, but mostly from the actual Deff Dread kit. There are a ton of arm options in that kit, way more than I thought. So that was really convenient for this build, which honestly makes a lot of sense. That's the kit it comes from. Overall though, I'm happy with the direction and it's time to start talking about paint. From the top down, my army has kind of a couple different color themes. There's the yellow dominant with red, and then there's the red dominant with a little bit of yellow. Then there's the mix down the middle, and then there's just metallics that surround these colors, like almost purely metallic models. For these guys though, I want to go back to the dominant colors and use the other one as an accent. Less of a split down the middle this time. For the metallics, I am going to go pretty hard on the heat stress, like they've been blown up, burned, and ultimately put back together by these orcs. So some of the panels will be the featured color of its own model, and some will be metallic. Let's just jump in and see what we can do. I'm going to start with an all-over coat of metal. This will be the base for everything and make it easier to get a unified look through both of the models. Do them at the same time. This process is pretty easy with an airbrush, but a dry brush over black and then adding in some transparent speed paints or contrast can be pretty similar. The dark silver all over, and then I'll bring in some burnt umber into the shadows. This warms up the model and gives us a nice bit of color from below. A little bit like a reflection from the ground, but also a layer of dirt that just looks nice with that metal and the rest of the colors we're going to end up with. I follow that up with some purple ink above that brown and in random spots on the armor panels. This is what starts to get that heat stress going on the metals. Finally, blue ink above that purple. The blue is what really finishes off that heat stress look. A little bit of this next to that purple and it starts to come together. Looks a little spotty right now though. So the final step is to bring that detail together with a dry brush from the top down with bright silver. The dry brush picks out the edges and blends all of those colors together, leaving you with a nice bright model with a ton of color variation and depth. Not just silver with a black wash, and not too much work to get there either. Very worth doing if you like that distressed metal look. Now that the main metallic color is taken care of, I can start on those Armiger panels to begin bringing in color to each model. Starting with the yellow panels, I'm going to go over the black primer with white. Shooting straight at the panel will hit the center and not wrap around the sides. This leaves a natural shadow on each side of that panel, but I know that I will need a little bit more white to make the yellow work, so I come in at the bottom of each side and just sneak in some white. This conveniently leaves a thin line of shadow right below the bend, and that looks pretty cool. Because it's a fun thing to do, I'm going to bring in some muted pink from Liquitex and shoot towards the bottom of the panels. Once the yellow goes over the top, it will filter that pink and turn it into a nice brownish orange shadow. Alternatively, burnt umber over the top of yellow basically looks just as good. Once the yellow is down, I can throw a little bit of silver onto the trim and go back to the purple and blue to get that same metallic variation as the rest of the metals on the model. Finally, a quick edge highlight of that bright silver to finish off these panels. The other panels, shoulder panels mostly, are going to be a little more difficult since I did glue them onto the model, but I think we'll manage. Small parts and pieces of each model get picked out, and little trinkets, hoses, and emblems that are embedded into the metal parts. I went back with black for a lot of the hoses since everything else is already silver, and that helps to break up that color. I also got some color on and around the orc pilot. I was a little worried about reaching everything, but it ended up not being too bad, which is always a nice thing after, you've converted something. For the most part, I'm letting a few pieces on the model show the color, and the rest is basically gonna be that distressed metal that the rest of my army already has. There are a couple of things that these models are missing though, and they they need to be taken care of. First off, the bases are gonna be kind of weird. The base size for a Deff Dread is 60 millimeters, which sounds pretty big, but Armiger Helverin's legs are bigger than that by about 5 millimeters on each end. So they will be hanging off a little bit, kind of like, older models on 25 mil bases. The little toes are sticking out. I do have a bunch of 60 mil blanks lying around, and I opted to 3D print some base toppers from Zabavka Workshop, a company that I've used a lot lately for their basing bits and toppers. They just make really cool stuff. I got those printed out and proceeded to get some color onto those toppers. Silver for all the scrap metal and skeleton bone for the dirt. My army has a pretty basic, kind of brownish red dusty theme for the bases. These are definitely going to be the same. So I covered the dirt and most of the metals with that brownish red pigment powder. Using a little bit of matte varnish through the airbrush, I can cut through the pigment laying on the metals to get them to show through a bit more. And a lighter coat on the rest of the base will lock that pigment in, and we won't have to deal with any of the powder getting on other models, especially during transportation. A dry brush of bright silver to pick out the edges of the metal, and an airbrush of black around the base rim, and these bases are pretty much done. It's really one of the reasons I like base toppers, because everything's already there and it looks pretty good. The other thing that absolutely needs to get done are all the extra characters that I need on these models. All my other orc vehicles are covered in minis, tons of orcs and goblins, and I want these to be pretty much the same. I ended up going with some smaller goblins from Station Forge. These little guys are really cool, and there are a bunch of them doing all sorts of different little things. I picked out 5 that I liked and I painted them up. Green skin, blue or brown clothes, metal weapons, pretty straightforward little dudes, but also very nice to paint. Small models like this paint up really quickly and look great even with just a little bit of work, and I like that. After these guys are finished, I can get them glued onto the models and call these pretty much complete. Orktober every year presents so many good projects, and this year hasn't been any different. I have a lot of projects. Some models that I've wanted to work on for years have finally been completed and are a part of my army. I have been having a great time so far this Orktober, and I hope that you have too. So thank you again for joining me on another miniature rescue. If you like something about this video, please consider hitting that like button, sharing this video with your hobby friends, and subscribing for more miniature rescues. And once again, I'm Casey, and I will see you in the next video. And of course, here are the completed or colluded Armiger Deff Dreads. Thanks again.